What's going on, everyone? GHJ here, and welcome to the first episode of the Prem Roundup, the show where I recap and review all the football results from the weekend just gone, so let's get started. And what better way to start it than Hull City, newly promoted side, beating the champions Leicester City 2-1 at the KC. A brilliant performance by Hull, fair play to them, everyone's writing them off for the season and this game. But they've gone out there and they've proved everyone wrong. They've showed that they've got the fighting spirit, and it's not just down to how many players you buy. Don't get me wrong, I still think they're in a crisis. They had one first team player on the bench yesterday, the rest were youngsters, and fair play to them. They beat the champions Leicester. I must say, a Leicester team without Kante just doesn't look like the same team as last year. I think that's pretty obvious to see. They was missing that anchor man in midfield. They was missing, the energy, and I think it was a poor decision by Claudio Ranieri to start Andy King over Mendy, who I think Mendy was meant to be Kante's replacement. So I think that was a poor decision by Ranieri, but fair play to Hull. Great finish in the first half, but I think it was Abel Hernandez. And then obviously Mahrez tucking his penalty away, and then Rob Snodgrass getting the winner and getting the 3 points for Hull. A tricky start to the Premier League season for Tottenham Hotspur, an away trip to Everton, who have just got their new manager in Ronald Koeman, a really good manager, done a brilliant job over there at Southampton. He's made some good signings in Yannick Bolasie, who obviously didn't feature, and also Ashley Williams, who also didn't feature. The fact that they've brought in a new manager and he's made signings, it just does give the crowd an extra buzz and a bit of excitement for the season ahead. So a tricky start for Tottenham. They got a good point in the end, in my opinion. Tottenham are notoriously known for being slow starters, so to go to Everton and get a point, on the opening day, it's not too bad of a result. They probably would have wanted the win after their brilliant season last season. But a point for Spurs and a point for Everton also. Everton as well probably would take the point, because Tottenham, as I said, brilliant season last season. They've added to their squad in Wanyama and Janssen, who both featured yesterday. A brilliant free kick by Ross Barkley. Lloris should have done a lot better, I think. What it was, I think he was expecting there to be a touch and a deflection, and there weren't, and it took it all the way in. So Lloris would have been disappointed with that one, who also went off injured. And I think he's out for about 4 weeks with a hamstring injury now. But Tottenham, they didn't give up there. They carried on fighting. And Eric Lamela with a good finish. And with his head, not really known for scoring headers, Eric Lamela. But he did, and it was a good finish, and they shared the points. Southampton won, Watford won was the next fixture. And two new managers, hoping to get off to good starts with both their clubs. In my opinion, I was expecting Watford to have a bad season, but they proved me wrong by starting the game well, and I'm not saying they're not going to have a bad season, but I think how they performed yesterday, if they can perform like that throughout the season, I don't think they'll be in any trouble. Good finish by Etienne Capoue in the first half, who could have been, in my opinion, sent off for a high foot about 10 seconds into the game. A poor challenge. I think if that weren't 10 seconds into the game, if that was about 15 minutes in, or even more, I think he would have been sent off for that. I think the ref bottled that one a bit there. Nathan Redmond, the Saints' new signing, hit back with a good half volley, or I think it might have been a volley actually, to rescue a point for the Saints, who I think dominated most of the game. And just like the Tottenham-Everton game, both teams shared the points. Newly promoted Burnley took on Swansea at Turf Moor in the next result, and it finished 1-0 to the Swans. Leroy Fer getting the winner with about 10 minutes to go. Llorente having a good debut for Swansea, causing a lot of problems to the Burnley back four, with his physical presence and strength and height. He basically got the assist, if you want to call it the assist, for Leroy Fer's goal, because he won the header, which forced Burnley goalie to make a save, which fell to Leroy Fer, and he tucked it home. Good win for Swansea on the opening day, who some people are expecting them to be battling for their place in the Premiership this season. In my opinion, I think they will struggle after losing their captain and leader Ashley Williams, and also losing Andre Ayew to West Ham. Two big losses, but good win for them on the opening day. The other newly promoted side, Middlesbrough, took on Stoke at the Riverside in their first game. A good point, I'd say, for Middlesbrough in the end, because Stoke, obviously, very consistent team in the Premier League. They struggle to push past that 9th spot, which they've finished in for the last 3 years. But they have got the quality in, players Shaqiri, Arnautovic, Bojan, Diouf as well. So I think it was a good point for Middlesbrough, taking the lead through Negredo in the first half, who's probably their marquee signing. I think he'll score a lot of goals for them this season, Middlesbrough. I think he could be vital in keeping them up. But a good point for Middlesbrough and Stoke, who rescued a point for a brilliant Shaqiri free kick. And just like a few of the other games, they shared the points. Alan Pardew's Crystal Palace suffered an opening day defeat at home to West Brom. Solomon Rondon causing all sorts of havoc against Palace on the weekend. He obviously got the winner late into the second half. He was causing problems throughout the whole game. Palace, you can really see they're missing that, 15 to 20. Well, 20 is probably a bit extreme for Palace, but that 15 goal a season striker who they crave. They've put in a £23 million bid for Benteke. Well, whether that will go through, I'm not sure yet. Palace, I think, and Pardew will be very disappointed to lose on the opening day, but a very good win for West Brom, who a lot of people expect to struggle this season. But West Brom will be delighted, Tony Pulis will be delighted, and West Brom fans will be delighted with an opening day win against Crystal Palace away. The 5:30 kickoff was Man City, Pep Guardiola's debut, hosting Sunderland at the Etihad. In my opinion, before the game started, I thought Man City were just going to annihilate Sunderland, but fair play to Sunderland, they didn't roll over. They went 1-0 down for an early penalty, who Aguero tucked it away. They fought back, Defoe in the second half equalising. Looked like it could have finished a draw. Man City got the win in the end through an own goal, I can't remember who scored the own goal, but I know it was an own goal. And Man City, luckily you could say, scraped a win at home against Sunderland, who Pep Guardiola would have probably expected a better performance on his debut. But all that matters is they got the win, they got off to a winning start, and Guardiola will be delighted. Moving on now into the Sunday kickoffs, Man United travelling to Bournemouth on their opening day. 3-1 it finished. Zlatan getting on the score sheet. Juan Mata surprisingly getting on the score sheet because Mourinho is known for not liking him. But a good win in the end for Man United. There's still a few areas they probably need to work on before they're the finished product for this season. Obviously they didn't have Paul Pogba, they'll have next week. But Mourinho will be delighted with that win against Bournemouth. But I don't think that's the end of Bournemouth. I don't think they'll struggle this season again. I think they'll have a comfortable season. But as I said, Mourinho and Man United will be delighted with that opening day win. Arsenal 3, Liverpool 4 was the next result. The 4 p.m. Sunday kickoff. Going 1-0 up, Arsenal. Theo Walcott in the 31st minute. After having his penalty saved by Simon Mignolet, brilliant save. And then was looking comfortable through the whole first half. Coutinho with an absolute weldy of a free kick to go in at half-time at 1-0. Second half, Jurgen Klopp must have said something amazing to the Liverpool players because they come out a different team in the second half, putting 3 past Petr Cech. Feel really sorry for Rob Holding, who probably feeling down because of Wenger's stupid decision to play him when he should have put probably Monreal or Debuchy there with a bit more experience. So I know they're not out and out centre-backs. Just out of order putting Holding in at the deep end. It's not his fault. He's still got great potential. Callum Chambers, though, should be doing better. I think he would have done better if he was next to an experienced centre-back. But unfortunately, he had to play with Rob Holding. But brilliant second half performance by Liverpool, in my opinion. We brought it back to 4-3, but ultimately it weren't enough to rescue the point. And yet again, Arsenal lose on the opening day. So the Monday night kickoff, Chelsea hosting West Ham United at the Bridge, finishing 2-1 to Chelsea after a late winner from Diego Costa, who probably should not have been on the pitch. Well, definitely shouldn't have been on the pitch after his challenge already being booked on Adrian. I'm not being funny. The challenge on Adrian weren't just a yellow, which he was already on. It was a straight red, and he was already on a yellow. So surely he should have. It was at the very least, a yellow card, and he didn't get nothing for it. Again, refs turning a blind eye to Costa's on-field antics and just poor refereeing. I feel sorry for West Ham because they do get a bit unlucky with refs. They got a bit unlucky towards the end of last season with referees as well, which ultimately cost them, a Europa League spot, going straight into the groups, and they wouldn't have had to worry about the qualification stages. I'm sure Slaven Bilic would be disappointed though. Should have got the point, but it weren't to be, and Diego Costa gets all 3 points on Antonio Conte's debut. So thank you for watching my first episode of the Prem Roundup for the 2016-17 Premier League season. Make sure if you enjoyed the video and you can't wait for next week's one. I'm so happy that the Premier League's back, although Arsenal lost. But thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you later.